It's otherworldly. It's ugly. It's repulsively underpowered. It has no folding tailgate, no power steering, no four-wheel drive, no fuel injection, one windshield wiper, and seating for one. It's the 1996 Daihatsu model name that's not cool to say anymore, 2. I think it's called 2 because it has 2 front wheels. The original had 1. Now we give Japan a pass with their sledgehammer use of the English language, but we do it too with kanji tattoos and JoJo splice-ups. Ever see the JoJo Uno video? Yeah, that's indulgent. So, this is a single-seat delivery truck built to navigate Tokyo's cholesterol-choked back alleys and back its cargo up to businesses whose backdoor ramps are too narrow for even the smallest Daihatsu hijet. And in 2025, this is the smallest street-legal pickup for import into North America. According to Doug, the owner, the Daihatsu K100P, P stands for pickup, they had one with a different suffix, it runs out of gears at about 68 miles an hour. Which makes sense because the final drive ratio in this live rear axle is 5.66 to 1. What? That is rock crawler gearing. The rear end of my crazy taxi is a leisurely 3 to 1. Ford Mustangs that ran the Ford 8.8-inch rear end had a sporty ratio of 3.55 to 1, and the third-gen Toyota 4Runners have a stock aggressive rear end of 410, so they can tow with their naturally aspirated V6s. Now, muscle car street racing bros like 411 rear ends, but that's about as high as rear ends go in North America before drivetrains become unusable on the highway. But 5.66 to 1 reduction. Jesus. No wonder this engine feels like it's racing at 50 miles an hour. And that makes sense, because the bed is about the size of one pallet. The Daihatsu is expected to submit to a forklift or pallet jack, or 2 strong dudes who will fill his ass with material. And then all it has to use to move this is a 660cc carbureted engine making 31 horsepower and like 30 pound-feet, I think, crank. That's it. So, of course, you need all that reduction to make this limp engine do anything. According to Wikipedia, bar owners liked the K100s because their beds fit kegs perfectly, and you can load and unload instantly from both sides of this little truck, kind of like a NASCAR pit crew. So just get 4 men ready, the Daihatsu backs up to the bar, full kegs come out, empties go in, the Daihatsu pulls away, and bam, the bar is refueled. If you get the automatic transmission version of the K100P, you are blessed with a passenger seat because the automatic uses a column shift. But if you have the 4-on-the-floor manual, that whole thing just takes up the passenger seat, so it's just you. So that explains why there's 2 doors on this thing. When I opened it up, I'm like, why does a 1-seat truck need 2 doors? Okay, that's why. If you had the automatic, you had a passenger seat. But the K100P has air conditioning. Really? I mean, 31 horsepower crank? And you have the confidence to strap another belt around that poor crank pulley? No power steering, but air conditioning. So weird. And the air conditioner is its own unit on the non-passenger floor. So what is it like to drive this thing?
There we go. It doesn't like to start up when it's warm. I don't know why. All right.
Alrighty. Yeah, grabby. Clutch is grabby. Clunky gear shift. All right, yeah, whoa, she wants to go. All right, I'm already in third. So third will take me all the way to 65 kilometers an hour, so, oh. All right, well, this isn't too bad. He said it was slow, but it doesn't feel that way. Of course, also let's go a little I'm in fourth gear. Oh, it doesn't like fourth. The shifter feels fine. The throttle response is instant. Look at that. I'm palming the wheel with a wheel that does not have power steering. Second gear. Yeah. The gear shifter does feel like something in a truck. Honestly, the sensation of driving this is not so much car as like UTV, like a really cheap utility, like farm vehicle, which probably is not that far from the truth. The little wing mirrors here, no one's really looking at me. They were correct that when people see you driving this, they really don't think that you're a vehicle. Because right now, we're in a parking lot, so they may think that this is just like the janitor's go-kart. I noticed that I haven't taken my hand off the gear shifter at all yet. I haven't really relaxed. There is no four-wheel drive in here. This is strictly a, nope, doesn't want fourth. All right, this is an access road, third gear. So maximum speed, third gear, 65 kilometers an hour. There's 50 kilometers an hour. Into fourth, you can max it out. So we are going 60 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I'm not bothering doing the math right now. All I know is I am now in a quite bumpy car. All right, Brian, don't take it on 422. You don't belong on a US highway. Man, that gear shifter, ka-clunk, ka-clunk. All right, man, here we go. Main road. And Honda Pilot, making a U-turn right in front of me. Although I have made U-turns at that intersection, so can't really fault them for it. We are going 60 kilometers an hour. That is approximately 36 miles an hour. There's someone next to me. I don't know if they took my picture. If this is all the more faster I had to go, which is like 45. If I never went faster than 45, it seems quite comfortable at 45 miles an hour. We got a hill coming up. Am I going to be able to climb this hill in fourth gear? The answer is no, it does not want that. It wants third gear. And now we're back and forth. So that may be something I bump. That may be something you'd have to deal with, shifting in and out third and fourth on hills. Of course, now we have a hill start. There she goes. Ooh. There she bucks. I really like this shifter. It is, again, nope, doesn't want fourth yet. I'm shifting it like it's a closer ratio transmission. The idea that I may have a fifth gear there, but I don't. I like the very mechanical sounds this thing makes when I shift. Like ka-clank, ka-clank. Okay, where's she gonna grab? Where's she gonna grab? There she's gonna grab. She grabs a little on the high side, but again, cable clutch, so. There is no sound deadening inside this little truck. It's just metal. I suppose these little plastic door trims is the closest thing I get to, maybe the closest thing I get to sound deadening, if. I think the loudest thing I'm hearing that sound in here, and I think the sound that I'm hearing mostly is the transmission. Hey, I got a thumbs up from a guy in a Hyundai Veloster. I should have hit the horn. Yeah, the loudest thing I hear is definitely the gearbox, the transmission going to the back. Hearing the gears in that, of course, because it's all underneath me. Me. That lady was looking at me. I wonder if this thing would honestly handle a little bit better if it had a load, if it had something in the trunk to kind of balance it out. Never has sitting in traffic been so much fun.
Oh, is that what happened?
Oh, I drove it on the road. I went out to Nudies and turned around.
Okay. I love the shifter. Not just because it looks like something that shoots Turkey Hill party cake cum, but because shifting it feels like cycling a Mosin Nagant assembled by someone who is having a good day. The 4-speed has a lot of clearance between its gates, and it vibrates when you're not holding on to it. But once you guide it into a gear, oh, click, click, it goes right. Oh, it's so satisfying. Oh. And you're going to be shifting this car a lot, especially when the road rises. Double clutch down from 4th to 3rd before the hill begins. Build speed, break the speed limit, whatever it is, shift to 4th and go wide open throttle and carry your kinetic energy up the hill. You're going to start slowing down, still full throttle, still stay full throttle. You're slowing down. Your revs are dropping down, ready to downshift. Not yet. Now, throttle off, clutch, slip to neutral, stab the gas, clutch in, shift into 3rd, and hopefully your revs are right where they need to be when your left hand shoves the pink vibrating ass tickler forward. And then scream! The engine cries like an emotionally deregulated preteen being told it's time to leave the arcade. And then you crest the hill, and none of the Philly crossovers knew the drama you were experiencing. 1996 Daihatsu K100P. It's so slow it makes the DMV impatient. It's slow, it's very slow, and you're going to have to get over this. There's nothing really I can do about that. Now, this was slow in 1996, it was slow in Gran Turismo 2, and it's slow now, but I can honestly say I don't care, because there's something to be said for having different experiences to liven up the punishing similarities of daily life. Now, could I daily this mini truck every single day? I don't know. I mean, I have my Honda Today. That's similarly small. It's Japanese and it's underpowered by American standards, but the Honda Today JA4 has fuel injection, it can rev high, and it can maintain 70 miles an hour if it has to. And it has that delightful Honda shifter. This key truck has none of that. And the questions you're about to ask are valid. Can the K100P tow? Can you put stuff in the back of it? Can you ride in the back of it? Are you going to let me ride in the back of it? Let me just shake it a little. Can my kid drive it? Just once around the lot, come on. A key truck has utility, but American eyes can't conceive of what that utility is. Because to American eyes, the only things it sees is volume. How much can you tow? How much can the little flatbed carry? What are you going to do when you go uphill? But Japanese utility is not the same numbers game. So you have to approach it differently. You have to think differently because, again, this isn't going to give you ridiculous output. The engine is designated the EFCK. And I was wrong before. It makes more than 30 pound-feet of torque. It makes 37. Woohoo! And they also made a van version of these. So the curb weight is around 1,257 pounds with a load capacity of 331 pounds. So TJ here is about 300 pounds. So if he carried two 20-pound dumbbells when he got into the bed, we would be overloading this truck. But really, what can you do with this thing in the United States beyond painting it yellow, throwing on a reflective vest, and being granted immediate unrestricted access to the work site of your choosing? Because that's what I noticed about this. When we were driving around this complex with the loading docks and everything, no one looked at the K100. People just thought this might be maintenance or parking enforcement or something, because it looks like a utility golf cart. But the second I took it out onto the public roads, people were like, what the hell is that doing on the street? Is a golf cart on the road? What the heck is that? Phones are coming up? Because look at the front of this thing. It just looks like a Dr. Seuss sound effects. It looks like the car's powered by kazoos and lollipops. But man, if you really did wrap this yellow and put a little amber light on the top, You could probably just drive this right into Limerick Power Plant and people would just like, oh, good, the hazmat guy is here. Oh, good, the exterminator's here. Oh, good, the electrician is here. Oh, good, the electrician and mobile blowjob tech is here. Just driving this thing and it just makes sucking sounds as it goes. I'm not going to do it on mic. Yes, I am. Okay, so Doug has a chart here on the dash to show you how to shift this thing. First gear has a maximum speed of 25 kilometers an hour. You're supposed to shift at 20 kilometers an hour. Second gear, 45 Ks. You should really shift at 30. Third gear, you should shift at 50 kilometers an hour. And then fourth gear, you're not supposed to shift until 108 kilometers an hour. That's a very, very long fourth. I tried putting into fourth before it was ready. And doesn't lock. You're mostly only going to use fourth when you're absolutely racing and you pass 60 miles an hour. Or 62 if we want to get the miles per hour, kilometers per hour thing, all copacetic. Supposedly you could swap out the transmission for the 5-speed that was in the S100 Hi-Jet. That gets you an extra gear and tighter ratios so you don't have to do that gigantic leap from third to fourth. But I'm not sure how much that would actually mean to the overall performance here because the flywheel is so small, you lose so much speed when you shift, unless you're going downhill. Besides, what you do get is a freewheeling, nimble little truck that can go in between things and offers you a driving experience like no other. It's weird that I don't feel like I'm sitting on the right side of the vehicle. I feel like I'm in a little cockpit in here. Intellectually, I know I shouldn't like this little thing because it flies in the face of what you're supposed to like. Yet I absolutely love this little truck in spite of whatever shortcomings it has. Yeah, pretty bare bones key truck. These things didn't even get fuel injection until late 1999. Fuel injection has been around since like 84. Oh yeah, also, these wheels are 12-inch wheels and they're aftermarket. The real one, the real one underneath the spare tire holder in the front, originally these came with 10s. Hey, more sidewall for more potholes. I mean, the entire aesthetic is less is more approach. Nothing's over-engineered here. It's cute without being tacky. It has usable dimensions and usable power. It's economical, but inside it doesn't feel cheap, even though there's no sound deadening in here. It's like a frickin' Cessna 150. The K100P was produced from 1996 to 2001, hitting the market a couple years after the asset price bubble burst in Japan, in the same way the 1970s oil crisis pushed Americans towards smaller, more fuel-efficient cars. The Japanese financial crisis pushed their citizens toward economic practicality. In 1996, this would have had a starting price of $6,700. Adjusted for inflation to 2025 is just a little over $13,000. For a little delivery truck. So while it may not be a truck that's pragmatic or utilitarian in the American sense, it was a popular and sensible option in Japan, considering these were also used for small businesses. It allowed independent entrepreneurs to save money while performing any number of tasks related to the job, whether hauling light materials or performing courier duties. Fuel economy, I mean, it's good. Well, not really. It is a truck. I mean, yes, fuel economy between 35 and 40 miles per gallon. Great. I mean, my old Toyota Echo got 44, but nothing about this is aerodynamic. Doug has averaged about 36 miles per gallon. Again, for comparison, the Honda Today JA4 makes 50 miles a gallon. But the K100P wasn't just a budget-friendly solution to pickup trucks. It was also a response to the traditional cab-overs and the mock aggression of more sport-oriented vehicles. K100P is cute. It's friendly. It's inviting. And men were encouraged to drive this. And in America, I can't imagine there being any stigma about this, even from people who think everything they don't understand is gay. You know. The men weirded out by this little pickup truck will just think you're an eccentric collector of irregular cars. But everyone else, the biggest introvert in the world, will bust out of his cocoon and become a social butterfly. fluttering their multicolored wings over to your parking spot just to hover around you and rapid fire questions in your direction, secretly weighing whether or not they could get away with one day getting something like this and driving it with confidence. A couple, or maybe a father and his daughter, I don't know, an older couple, like the people who showed up. It was about 10 minutes after we parked this thing and began taking pictures that up come grandpa and grandma so-and-so. It's like, wow, look at this tiny, is this real? And I asked them, did you guys come in a pickup truck? They said, yeah. I'm like, do you want to drive it right next to this and compare sizes? I think that's what I said to him. And he goes, sure. And he whoop, 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 goes away, comes back with his crew cab, and finding out that the little K100 barely makes it up to the front doors when parked bed to bed on the thing. It's delightful. Once he saw how much bigger his truck was, They were so happy it was as if they saw an actual unicorn vomiting Lucky Charms marshmallows into a bowl made out of unconditional love. Owning a K100P is an act of self-expression and individuality, right? Because being a single-seater means only one person can drive this at a time. But it's also a beautifully reckless act of invitation because it draws eyes and summons phones into hands as if by magic. In a way, it shows you what society really values because this got way more attention than a lot of the high-priced sports cars we've driven, or bigger things like lifted trucks or heavily modified imports or even classic American cars. In that sense, it suggests that people are less impressed by fancy than they are by quirky. That it means more to be uniquely yourself than it does to chase trends or go for things you're supposed to want. Good morning, Furry Week in Atlanta. It's Monday morning to everybody who celebrates. Thank you to everybody who said hi as we were down there at the convention. And yes, I was filming a lot of video down there and at the car show. Those videos are going to come out, and I'm gathering that a lot of footage I shot may not be suitable for YouTube, right? Or at least not monetizable. That's why all the good footage that I shot at FWA is going up on Patreon where it'll be safe. Don't worry, I'll put some free stuff up on YouTube as well. But please, I want you to watch the Patreon footage, so please join our Patreon. Regular car reviews on Patreon. It's only $1, $1. Come on, you spent more than that on art. And for all that, you get the kind of shenanigans and videos you want. And if you're not into this, well, heck, you're gonna get car show videos as well. So head on over to our Patreon channel. Links in the description, and I'm probably putting it right on the screen right here. And join. You're going to help RCR expand really what car content, car culture can be. And to be honest, some of the most fun I've had at car shows are at furry car shows. Why do you think that is? No, I mean, sincere. Like, why is it more lighthearted and silly? Anyway, you're seeing this into the past as I'm getting ready for FWA, right? I'm assuming I shot a lot of fun stuff. Anyway, head on over to Patreon. It's only $1. You're going to help RCR do all sorts of fun things. Thank you, and thank you for liking Regular Car Reviews.